On the Punchline, a heavyweight hit parade. 4 former world champs battle it out live on Fox Sports.
Holyfield showing his power. Holyfield goes down. Oh my, Holyfield goes down.
A Cuban crisis for our Olympic hopefuls. Robert Peden and Rick Timperi, and Spike Chaney explains his mid-fight breakdown.
It breaks your heart, but it's like I've got to find out what it is if I'm going to keep fighting and sort it out.
Our special guest, one of Australia's premier trainers, Johnny Lewis.
When you start looking too further afield, you can suddenly find yourself being a loser, coming second, and we don't want that. We're going to just focus in on this fight.
All this and more on The Punchline.
Hello fight fans, I'm John Casey and welcome to The Punchline. Madison Square Garden will be the scene of what should be a terrific triple-header this Saturday, with a collection of former heavyweight champions fighting live on Fox Sports. Holyfield, Lewis, Witherspoon and Mercer have all held world heavyweight titles at least once in their careers. More details of our coverage later in the show, but first up, the latest news from the world of boxing. Australia's only current world champion, Costa Tszyu, has had a late change of opponent for his upcoming defence of the IBF Junior Welterweight title, set down for the Sydney Entertainment Centre in just over 2 weeks. Originally, Tszyu was drawn to face undefeated Italian Giuseppe Sali, who has had to withdraw after recent hernia surgery. In his place, American Shamba Mitchell has been called in. With 37 victories from 39 fights, including 24 KOs. On paper, at least, he looks a worthy opponent for Tszyu. Trainer Johnny Lewis is not concerned by the late change.
Shamba Mitchell, who he's a very talented boy, this boy. He's a southpaw. Now you look back at his record, it's quite a good one, and we're expecting a much harder fight, I suppose.
And we'll speak more with Johnny Lewis in the second half of the show. Overseas, and WBC heavyweight champ Mike Tyson has been beaten, but his loss was in the courtroom, not the ring. Tyson's plans to again unify the heavyweight title hit a snag when a New York judge ordered his next opponent must be Britain's Lennox Lewis. Tyson was scheduled to face WBA champ Bruce Seldon in July, but Lewis is demanding his turn first. Turning to the amateur ranks, and Australian Olympic hopefuls Rick Timperi and Robert Peden have just competed at the Atlanta venue. Despite failing to win a medal in the competition, which was dominated by Cuban boxers, Peden says both he and Timperi will be better for the experience.
I had 2 fights over there. I fought the World Championship silver medalist from last year. I beat him 10-1. He's from Algeria, number 2 in the world. I beat him pretty easy. I went progressed through to the final and fought the Cuban. Lost 6-1 in the final.
Robert Peden and Rick Timperi are now in Britain for a multi-nation challenge as part of their build-up to Atlanta. And when the Games arrive in just over 10 weeks, the always controversial scoring of Olympic boxing will be modified. The widely criticised electronic scoring system will remain in place, but the totals will not be revealed until the end of each bout, replacing the previous system of round-by-round scoring. Of course, one way to avoid controversial scoring is to win by knockout, and that's exactly what American Mark Johnson has done to capture the vacant IBF flyweight title. Up against former champion Francisco Tejedor, Johnson landed a crushing left hook after just 90 seconds in round 1 to claim the title. Johnson's record is now 29 wins and just 1 loss, with 22 knockouts. Back home, and the Lithgow Bash, Spike Chaney has finally broken his silence after his dramatic breakdown during a fight in Sydney 7 weeks ago. In sensational circumstances, Chaney lost the WBC International Junior Welterweight title to Russian Viktor Baranov. But in an exclusive interview, Spike has told Fox Sports he's taking time out to undergo tests in a bid to discover what has brought his boxing career to a standstill. Spike Chaney knows that behind his back, people are talking, accusing him of being gutless and choking when the pressure is on.
I was actually in a pub at Singleton a few weeks ago, and the bar lady there didn't realise I was actually sitting there. She started talking about me, and she was just bagging the shit out of me. And that was real good. So I just kept baiting her, and I just kept asking her what she thought. And she was just going, oh, he's a dog, he's this, he's got no heart, he's this and he's that.
In March, Spike was defending his WBC International Welterweight title against Russian Viktor Baranov. He was well ahead on points, but at the end of the fourth round, he dropped a bombshell that left everyone stunned.
He doesn't want any more, Spike Chaney. Spike Chaney says he feels weak and tired, and there's a sensational ending to this fight. Graham Chaney says he's weak and tired and can't go on.
This has happened before, when Cheney fought Alex Tui 3 years ago and gave it away after just 3 rounds.
In the last fight, I knew it would happen. As soon as it happens, I know exactly how my body's going to react. It's like just a switch turns off and I've got no energy. And you can watch it in the fights that it's actually happened. All I can do is hang on and try and preserve myself and wait till the end of the round. And there's no way in the world that I can go back out and keep fighting because I'm just a sitting duck and I know I'd get hurt and I know I'd get knocked out because this weakness that I have.
Spike has undergone allergy tests, an ECG, and has even been to a psychiatrist. Trainer Jeff Crow says, depending on the outcome of further tests, Spike's career could be over.
At this stage, if the results come back and not looking good, I think it's probably Spike to make a good decision and retire.
But the sole Olympic silver medalist is still training, still proud of his fight record and confident there's more to come.
I've got that desire there that I want to win a world title and I've got the ability to do it.
Promoter Bill Morty has announced a charity night after the death of Newcastle boxer Lance Hobson. Hobson died after collapsing in the ring in Melbourne last week. A number of Newcastle boxers will take part in the fundraising night on Monday, May 27th, with a percentage from each ticket sold going to homeless children. There'll be a celebrity auction and prizes, and promoter Bill Morty invites your participation in the fundraiser by purchasing tickets to the value of $50, which gives you 10 chances to win a prize. Cheques should be made payable to the Lance Hobson Memorial, care of Fox Sports, Lockbag 6, Pyrmont, New South Wales, 2009. The greatest collection of former heavyweight champions to fight on one card will meet this Saturday as boxing's revived mecca, Madison Square Garden. It's a triple header not to be missed, and we'll have it live on Fox Sports. The indestructible Evander Holyfield will meet former light heavyweight champ Bobby Chiz. Britain's Lennox Lewis clashes with 1988 Olympic gold medalist Ray Mercer, and resurrected terrible Tim Witherspoon squares off against Cuba's Jorge Luis Gonzalez. Witherspoon's rebirth is fueled by his desire to reclaim the world heavyweight title he held 10 years ago. Since renewing his career 2 years ago, the 38-year-old has used his destructive right hand to knock out 5 consecutive opponents. Here's Witherspoon in action, facing the Hebrew Hammer, Tim Puller.
Introducing now the principals first. In the red corner to my right, wearing the red, white, and blue trunks, he weighs in at 239 pounds. His professional record, 13 victories, 3 defeats. He has 7 knockouts from Ruidoso, New Mexico, the Hebrew Hammer, Tim Puller. His opponent in the blue corner, wearing the white trunks with black trim, he weighs 226 pounds. His professional record, 42 victories, 4 defeats. He has 28 knockouts. He is the former 2-time heavyweight champion of the world from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, terrible Tim Witherspoon. 10 rounds, heavyweight.
You received your instructions earlier. I want you to pay attention to my commands, shake hands, and come out fighting.
At the age of 37, he'll be 38 in December. Tim Witherspoon fighting for the second time in 2 weeks. So we get 2 for the price of 1, although we haven't told Tim that yet.
Yeah. There will be a fight if he didn't get paid tonight.
And Tim Puller happy not to see Chris Bird in the other corner.
Yeah, Chris Bird, a fighter that he says is dangerous for me to fight. Dangerous because he moves too much. He's so hard to hit. I can't fight the Jimmy Youngs of boxing.
Oh, and Tim Witherspoon going right at it. You know, 2 weeks ago against Everton Davis, strategic fight by Davis, who was certainly overmatched by the former champ, but got in close on him, held, clutch grab, made it very difficult for Tim Witherspoon, who eventually wore him down. But Witherspoon in this fight is going to have that distance, which he likes. He knows he's going to find his spot. As he said just moments ago, that Puller just can't move for a long period of time. He's moving now, and Witherspoon feels that somewhere along the line he is going to find the right spot. He will be there for him. And
yeah, and here's why. Look at the way Tim Puller's moving. Now he's chained, but it is easier for a right-handed fighter to move to his left. When you move to your left against the right-handed power punchers, like former heavyweight champion Tim Witherspoon, his power is in that right hand. And we've seen so many times Tim knock out big opponents with that powerful right. Remember the fight a few years back, Andres Eklund? Yeah. Oh, man. What a crunching right hand.
That was Eklund's, also, that was his reaction to it.
Yes.
But look at Witherspoon. Look at the range. He's in perfect range for that right. So, and there it is.
Yeah, on cue.
So talk about Puller's strategy. He says,
well, look what he's doing right there. That's what he has to do, and you know he does. He has to pull up. He has to be a puller and pull up that that left hand to protect himself over there. You can't give a fighter like Tim Witherspoon that shot. He'll take it and he will knock you out. The one thing he has is that big power. What happened over there?
Well, made the soft spot move to the corner.
I think he got tangled up in the ropes.
All right, we're coming down to the final minute of round number 1. Tim Witherspoon, at the age of 37, has become a feisty young man, again, a young cub. He is very hungry. He sees boxing from a different angle now. The 7-year legal battle with Don King that really paralyzed him the last few years is behind him. He had taken 2 years off. He's come back with 4 straight knockouts and is a real young-looking 37.
Young because he got the weight off, and he's in shape. He's the one carrying the action in this fight with overhand rights like that. Tim Witherspoon is really in a no-win situation. Fighters don't want to fight him because he has big one-punch power. He can fight. He knows how to jab. As a heavyweight jabber, he is very good. He's got big power. Promoters don't want to touch him because Tim Witherspoon broke the code of silence in boxing for the legal battles with Don King.
He's also pretty dangerous.
And he's very good in the ring. It's hard.
We're inside the Big Tent. This is round number 2. Well, 2 weeks ago, Tim Witherspoon against Everton Davis, a fighter who clutched and grabbed and really made it hard for Witherspoon to look too good. But it's Puller who makes Witherspoon look terrific.
And there's why. Tim Witherspoon looks great against bigger fighters. You heard him tell you he likes facing the bigger fighters, and that's why. He can bring that right hand over the top and force his opponents down to the canvas. Big power in the right hand.
And there it was, 2 wins in 2 weeks. And after this one, we may even see Witherspoon next week. Tim Puller with a little bit of an argument. He got his foot actually caught in the ropes, and that's made it a little more difficult to get his footing. But that is it for Tim Puller in 2 rounds. And from what we had seen, it appeared as if it was just a matter of time.
It was a matter of time. Already Tim Puller had tasted the power of that man, Tim Witherspoon. He said, if this fight, I want respect, Tim Puller did. He said, I can't get respect unless I fight somebody with a name. And here's a look at that overhand right. Look, this is the same punch that Tim Witherspoon has been famous for. He brings that overhand right on the side of the jaw. Tim Witherspoon down to the canvas. His foot did get tangled up, but his problems were his mind is tangled up. Over the top and under the bottom goes Tim Puller.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner by technical knockout, Terrible Tim Witherspoon.
And while on the subject of the heavyweights, former WBO champion Herbie Hyde has announced his comeback to the ring. After more than a year off the scene, the 24-year-old British boxer will fight on the undercard of Prince Naseem Hamed's defence of his WBO featherweight title on June 8. An opponent for Hyde is yet to be announced. Next up, Punch of the Month from Fox Sports Tuesday Night Fights.
At number 4, Eric Griffin chopped down by Jesus Chung. It's timber for the ex-champ. And the clock struck 12 on the Cinderella story of Ancy Gideon. In at number 2, Butterbean sending Richard Elvis Davis into his version of Shake, Rattle, and Roll. And the number 1 hit of April belongs to Rafael Ruelas with a shattering blow. Some fighters have a glass jaw, some a glass body.